It's time for Tech Friday. Hey! First, we're going to talk about StreamerBot, the new alpha that came out for it. If you are a member of the StreamerBot Patreon, you can access the alpha now. I am not. I just want to go over the changelog and things that are coming up. For it. So we bring it up. Hey, look, it's over there. StreamerBot is 5 years old, and amazingly, this is going to be StreamerBot 1.0, right? And so there is another beta coming out soon with all this stuff in it. And as you can see, Nate 1280, guy who makes it, talks a bit about it here. And he's kept the base free all this time. However, this is his only job now because he was laid off a while ago and still hasn't found work. So a few of the features will be behind, hey, please subscribe to my Patreon, because he's the only person working on it. And and could use a bit of cash for something like that. But otherwise, your base StreamerBot is always going to be free. And we'll get into that a little more as we go down through the list. First up, what we're going to kind of skip over here is there's more Kik integration. Okay, yay. What I do want to talk about is all this other stuff. Like, there'll be cloud backups. And once it's released to stable beta, the thank you tier will be required. Lower limits than the bronze tier. So if you want to do the cloud backups, you will have to subscribe to the Patreon. I don't know what the Patreon prices are, but they were fairly reasonable when last I looked. And, you know, cloud backups cost money, so I can't blame someone for making an amazing product and going, hey, please, monies. But that's cool that there are cloud backups. Now I can just download StreamerBot and say, hey, I need my cloud backup, please. And, you know, say I reinstall my computer, and then all these complicated StreamerBot things I made aren't lost forever. I don't have to recreate them. I can just grab them from my cloud backup, put them on in. Also, we'll have custom webhooks, which is pretty cool. So far, they have 4 services through webhooks: Patreon, Ko-fi, Fourth Wall, Shopify. And so you can create your own webhooks for any site that stores them. And since I don't know how to code any of this, other people, please make webhooks for things. Again, this will be a Patreon feature. The other thing coming out with is Dex 2.0. Now, you may remember a stream, it might have been a couple years now, with myself and one Urban Bohemian, where I gave Herb control of my stream using the deck at the time. Now they've upgraded, they've added new features, you can rearrange the buttons, all sorts of cool things with Dex 2.0. And if you want to see some of that in action, they do give you a video. Where's that link? Yes, let me double check that this is the right link. Yeah, so this post on Blue Sky, I believe, shows off. Is this the? Yeah, this is the link I wanted. So follow that link in Blue Sky, and you'll get an idea of all the new stuff. There's about a minute-long video. And really, the Dex 2.0 is very exciting. You can customize sizes, text, and the backgrounds. They've upgraded the deck builder, so I'll have to have Brian on again to play with Dex 2.0 whenever that comes out to the full release. Because chaos. All right, and then there's a list of new features. You can go to the changelog and read all these for yourself. But one thing I'm liking is the logic if else has been updated. True false are now in groups, and you can add sub actions directly to them. And they have a new logic switch case sub action. And so these ought to be pretty cool. If you're into C#, there's a new C# thing. But yeah, there's a lot here to go through. Please give me infinite conditionals, right? Let's see, I'm looking at these. New sub-actions for Meld Studio, browser layer URL, and I'm sure that was supposed to be take a vertical screenshot, but and then there's updates to a lot of these things, and of course some fixes. This will also bring in the new UI that you may have seen if you've watched StreamerBot preview videos. That has the dark mode, and it looks very good, much improved. And also, like, I just thought this update was going to be the new UI, yay, and a couple other things. But no, we're getting all this. I mean, there's Kick too, but eh. But cloud backups, custom webhooks, decks. If else has been updated, which is that's just fantastic on its own. I missed this in my earlier preview. Nestable sub-action groups. That's amazing. So you can make a sub-action, kind of group it together, and then make another sub-action and say refer to this group without, yeah. That'd be great. Oh. Yeah, gonna tidy up a lot of my actions, yeah. Here's another one. Hotkeys are now at a trigger level and support any combination. Excellent. So then you could just have a button on your Stream Deck that's the hotkey to do an action on through StreamerBot if you wanted. Excuse me. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to go over. You can read all that in the update. I'm like, this is impressive. And I really don't think the Patreon is that much. Let's take a look at what the current prices are. Now, these may change. Let's see here. Nate, $12.80. And okay. No, I don't want to join. I just want to know how much tiers are. This is a different interface. See membership options. There we go. So, yeah, his bronze tier is $6 a month. And if you want to, the thank you tier is $2 a month. And as it says here in his log, the thank you tier, at least the thank you tier will be required, and will have lower limits than the bronze tier. So you can use either tier. But yeah, $6 a month, that's pretty reasonable, I think, for what StreamerBot offers. Yeah. I could see paying to support this, and I barely scratch the surface of what I need. But if it helps to keep the base app free for others, yeah. Yeah, that's what I like. I mean, it's a good program. I haven't seen anything that gets me to really worry about the person behind it or the people that work about it. It runs my stream, so you know it. I'll probably start at the $2 tier though, just to see what the features are like and if I actually need more than that. But yeah. So that is the StreamerBot changelogs upcoming. Like I said, that is their alpha, and so it'll be another couple months before we see it. And then once it comes out to stable, I'll do a video on it, and we'll go through all the new options, how they work, what it means. It'll probably be a longer Tech Friday, just because there's going to be so much to go over. But yeah. All right, switching gears. I saw a YouTube video about a Kickstarter. I know this is going places. For a thing called the Submerge DSA, which is an all-in-one streaming device. It has a screen, you do everything. The Kickstarter hasn't launched yet, but that's right here. So, yes, cookies, fine. But as you can see, it's this panel, multiple outputs, customizable deck, which the customizable deck is just a Stream Deck that's not branded, right? It's right here. Can't tell me they just took a Stream Deck and you can do the same thing, map complex action, scene switching, all that. But yeah, so if you want kind of a all-in-one thing, I mean, if you're traveling, this might be an all right solution to go with. We don't know how much it's going to be. I can imagine it being useful if I had a bunch of cameras, and I plugged them into here, and then I had that flowing into my main machine. I could kind of see a use there. The minute Elgato said make your own, they were on it. Yeah. So you can do things, go horizontal and vertical simultaneously. Zero lag HDMI pass-through, which is awesome. Interactive widgets, share your phone screen. They claim to have a integrated creation suite, however good that may be. Again, we don't know. This hasn't launched yet. Lots of features. There's the whole specification list. I'll leave that up for a second if you want to come back and look at it. What's interesting is They really made an Android OS mini PC with a focus on streaming. It's a beefed up tablet. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing. This does run Android OS, not Windows or Mac. But you do get a nice 1080p screen. Output storage. It's Android 10. Bluetooth. Here's all the external interfaces, which, I mean, for a tablet like thing that's beefy, this is a lot of interfaces. Which is why, depending on price, it might be good for a secondary thing that controls, just the cameras. If I had multiple cameras, and then I send the signal to my machine, and then that does all the camera processing on it. If your cameras would plug in and work with an Android 10 device or had some sort of workaround so you could do that. So yeah, you can get notified when it launches. If you want to see this, there is a YouTube video, like I said. Right. Yeah, where'd my links go? Here we go. Copy. So this is the YouTube video that brought this to my attention. So check that out later if you want to kind of see a demo of what this thing looks like before it launches and things. So there may be changes to what you see, but person got a hold of it. And speaking of video things, I also saw a review by OC. They've made a number of things. Oh, I didn't preload them. All right, hold on. Let's get this up. They have made a video switcher. Called the GoStream Duet 8 ISO. 4 physical and 4 stream inputs. It does HDMI, that almost all your web cameras have with. SDI, which is a more standard camera input. It's kind of got like a little wire poking into it and you out of it and you kind of twist it in. And the advantage with SDI and why it's been around so long is that it can take video information long distances. But this is kind of cool that has 4 HDMI inputs in it. And this might be a very good option. Plus, for Windows multi-source. Look at that. Two XLR microphones. Again, we have ports. We have all sorts of controls. There's a software panel. You can even invite in guests. It does all the camera standards. So if you have a PTZ camera, which is pan, tilt, zoom, we've talked about those before, in one little device. And it's like half of what the Rode video thing goes. So if you're looking for a video switcher and you don't want to go the Rode route, it's just a little too expensive, this is going to be a pretty good option. It does, all the things you would need a video switcher to do, plus other things like you can invite people, you can make for Windows, you can set up your whole entire streaming thing within this hardware. And then broadcast it out onto your PC. But yeah. Again, lots of inputs. As it says, dynamic overlays. So you can do stuff like this. 8-layer composite image, and here's, what the chroma looks like, background, different sources coming into one scene, which is fairly impressive. And then here's the 4 windows multi-source. Or if you want to do like a little slide presentation like they're doing here. But yeah, this is says it works with OBS, so yay. Yeah, if you have need for a video switcher, this might be the one to your kind of low cost option to go with. I know $800. I'm calling it low cost. That's you could get like an ATEM Mini. I think is maybe 300 some, but this is far more powerful. So if you have the extra cash and you're not paying the like 1,600 for the Rode version, again, if you can get the Rode version, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It looks fantastic. From everything I've seen, it works really well. So yeah, give that a go. And then we have, let's see, what do I want to tackle next? Oh yeah, more control over notifications. Blue Sky, yay. Let me put this link into chat. There we go. So as you can see, July 7th, so not that long ago. But you can get activity notifications, enhanced notification settings, so you can fine-tune which notifications you receive. And receive notification when someone likes or reposts posts you've reposted. So if you don't want to miss anything, you have the option to get all the things from everyone that you could ever want. And you can you can change who sees your notifications or what notifications you see. So everyone stay in loop with all interactions, people you follow, filter out the noise and focus on your close connections. Right? And you can customize all of these now. So yeah, if you want your phone to ping a lot more than it ever has before, you can do that now on Blue Sky. Actually, some of these are quite useful, but yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. And let's see what else we got here. Oh, so we know about my wanting to doing Obsidian and kind of looking at open source tools and things like that. And I happened across this, I'm not sure, some rabbit hole I was following down. And they say it's an open source kind of Canva thing. It's called PenPot, though it probably doesn't have everything Canva can do. But it's interesting. I don't know how long it's been around. I just heard about it this week, so I'm telling all of you about it. Go here, sign up for free, can self-host, pricing. Everything you get professional. Then the unlimited, like no file limits, but you already get that here. Unlimited teams, you get plugins, you get everything open source. So this is if you 30 days of autosave versions if you need that, more storage. So if you need any of this stuff, that's only $7 a month. But the regular version, same core features included, that's enough. Oh, well, except the cookies, why not? That's pretty cool. The other thing is they claim to be their tagline here is bridges the gap between designers and developers, because you can also input code and make designs, but you can do all sorts of this stuff. And so it's designed to let designers and coders kind of come together in one thing. But if you're just doing some graphics for your personal stuff, this might be a good solution. Have flexible design, you can inspect the code. Right? And then you can design and code collaboration for real. And it's open source, so this is pretty good, because if I need to cut back on things, Canva might be something I cut back on, and this might be a good replacement for it. It won't do all the things Canva does, but I can probably make it work, I'm thinking. And yeah, so I just this is neat. If you know of anything that's Canva-like and has a awesome free tier, let me know. Yeah. And let me check the streams before we move on to our next topic. Gonna shift gears again into talking a little bit about Markdown and what time we got. Oh, we're doing good. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. First off is this article. From It's Foss News. Right there, that LibreOffice is going to have Markdown support, which is pretty fantastic. If you don't know, LibreOffice is an open source office suite, and so if you're looking for something that's not Office 365 and you need the full kind of office suite, LibreOffice is usually one of those alternatives brought up. But yeah, here's an article of how they're including Markdown. They're slowly going to be putting in the support for Markdown. And then by the time they get to let's see here, the fully completed 26.2 release scheduled for next year, and it will be all in there. And you know me, I'm big on Markdown lately, and so I was happy to see that thing like this has it. And the other Markdown thing I want to talk about, let me set that up real quick, there is Markdown is now included in Notepad, regular old Notepad in Windows 11. So if you open Notepad, it may look a little different. You might notice a toolbar. See what this looks like wide. Then we'll go back to this window here. So this is Notepad, the current version. Notice up here is now a toolbar, H1, lists, bold, italics, links, clear formatting. So if you want to type something, and then you want to change the heading, you go over here. And normally in Markdown, you would hit the hashtag sign or the pound sign or number sign, whatever you want to call it, you know, the thing that's usually above the 3. And so you would do a pound sign, space, and then that'd be title. And if you did 2 pound signs and then a space, you'd get heading 2. So heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then regular body all the way down. So I do that, bam, I have that. I can also make lists if I want a bulleted list or a number list. Right, and I can keep going, and then I can bold and italicize, can make a link, and I can clear all the formatting. And if you're upset at this for some reason, you can just shut this off. Settings, go to, and where it says formatting here, just turn this off, and you won't see any of it. It'll all go away. The other thing that I really like, because I'm now used to typing in Markdown, is that I can do that. So if I click this down here where it says formatted, now it says Markdown syntax. I cleared all the form. Now I can type in Markdown. Right, and I can use, I think it'll let me use the plus. I think it's the plus they let me use, or is it the minus? I can't remember. And then I go back. Oh no, it lets me use them all. It's like, oh yeah, I understand this formatting. So here you go. You wanted that to be title size, so we made it title size. You want this to be a list. Made a list, and so then you go back down here and you go to syntax. So I mostly I'd be in syntax because this is how I just write things now, is using Markdown. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I like this a lot. It's probably the most bare bones Markdown you can get while usable. There are a couple Markdown things I wish it did support that it just doesn't support. And it even tells you like, oh, I see you want to do something Markdown. Well, we don't support that Markdown yet. So if I go like 3 dashes, normally forms a line across the screen. Right? I hit enter, and then I go back to, I get this, unsupported syntax detected. Isn't fully supported in formatted view. Some content may not render. Do you wish to continue? So I can either change it. If I was putting this in another Markdown editor, say like Obsidian, it would understand that I wanted a horizontal line that went across the screen. But now if I go to continue, everything else is preserved. But instead of the horizontal line I just have the 3 dashes. So there are some limitations, but it's really handy. Oh, right, I left it in, so it's still going to remind me. But it's really handy if you want to kind of pretty up your regular Notepad entries and just add a heading. There's a, highlight, select your options. I can't remember if I can do this here as well. No. I do have to highlight here. Maybe I can. Does it switch? No. Oh, I see. It's like, no, you put a pound sign in there. That's what you meant. So yeah. So I'd probably be writing in the syntax view, just because I'm used to it. I go down here. I switch. Continue. Yes, I know I didn't take out lines, but then that would be the subtitle heading. So very useful. Very, very lightweight. You know, make your text files a little more interesting. Same as Markdown. And the neat thing is, everyone who has Notepad in Windows 11 can open the file. You can open the file in any text editor as well. You'll see the you'll see the dash if it's just text edit, or the hashtag mark if it's a text editor. But I still know what this is, right? I know this is a list clearly because there's asterisks there. Okay, this is some other heading, right? I still know what things are without knowing the syntax. So yeah, I was real happy that this finally came available to everyone in Notepad. And when you first open Notepad, I did have to hit one of these buttons here in order for it to say, hey, this is a new thing, blah, blah, blah. You can go to settings, formatting, and just turn it off. And it goes away completely. Turn off. Go here. And oh, look, it's back to regular Notepad. There's no toolbar. It's just your friendly neighborhood Notepad, right? But I'm keeping formatting on because it's a lot better. So yeah, I was really, really happy with that. All right, we're going to get ready to take a break. When I come back, I need to tilt my camera up a little bit. There we go. When we come back, I want to go over my Obsidian Vault, just a real quick thing, because if you remember last week when I was doing the campaign frame outline, I was wanting to make the headings larger, and I found a way to do that with a CSS snippet, and so I put in the instructions on how to do that. And so I just want to show off that part, but now I have to go re-record the whole video I made to include it in there. But just if you were here last week, I want to update everyone and show you how you can change the size of those headings when it outputs to your final campaign frame outline for Daggerheart. And then we will turn on the music and kind of get into the relax mode, look at any random news, whatever you want to talk about. If you have questions on anything, go for it. If you want to talk some non-spoiler Superman, we can do that. Gundam stuff, any anime you're watching. Dan to Dan Season 2 is that, airing. So, be back in about 5 minutes or so, and we'll get on with it. Yeah! And if you need to go, well, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching Tech Friday.